What's up, everybody? Dan Warmby with Keller Williams, West Ventura County here. Hope everyone's doing great. This week, I wanted to make a quick little video to break down some of the fees and taxes that you might not think about when planning to sell your property. What makes matters a little more complicated is that from state to state and really from county to county, who pays for what varies pretty considerably. For example, the county transfer tax here in Southern California, the sellers typically pay for the county transfer tax, but in Northern California, that cost normally falls on the buyer. So let's take a quick look at some of the costs that might not be top of mind for you when you're thinking about how much equity you could potentially net out of your home sale. First up, escrow charges. Escrow does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to managing the actual finalization of a home sale, and of course, they're compensated for that. Escrow fees range pretty widely because there are many different options, from super basic, no frills, flat fee companies to white glove service business models that are considerably more expensive. But basically, you can bank on about $2 per $1,000 of purchase price, plus about $250. That brings us to title charges. Title company's job is to make sure that the chain of title to the property is free and clear and unclouded. In layman's terms, their function is to make sure that once your sale is finalized, no one can come back and claim that they had an interest in the property. There's no set cost for this in Ventura County, but I've found that a pretty good ballpark estimate is to multiply the sales price by 0.0025. So for example, if we had a home with a sales price of $500,000, say, a typical cost to get title insurance usually falls around that $1,125 mark. Of course, the county has to do some work to create and maintain all of these property records, and no surprise, they charge for that. Here in Ventura, that cost is $1.10 per $1,000 of sales price. So for our hypothetical $500,000 home, the county transfer tax would be $550. Now, if there's an HOA, they'll need to provide the new buyers with all of the documents pertinent to the HOA, and that can be quite substantial because it includes all of the financial information, all of the meeting minutes and whatnot. They'll also need to actually transfer the owner in their new systems to the new owner. For most HOAs, this breaks down into two fees. One is the HOA document fee, and the other is the HOA transfer fee. For most HOAs in our area, that means about another $700 to $800 in actual fees to the HOA. The city actually maintains all of the property records, and it's actually a requirement to close escrow that all of those be disclosed to the new buyer prior to the close of escrow, which means the city will need to actually produce all of those, and it will run you about $85 in Camarillo, Ventura, Oxnard, and Port Hueneme. The new buyer will also need to know if the property is subject to any possible natural hazards. A whole separate company handles that, and they can produce all of that information for the new buyer for about $100 in most cases. And finally, because it almost never gets below freezing here for any real length of time, termites are always an issue. Now, a termite report is not a statutory requirement to close escrow, but many lenders and our contracts actually stipulate that there be a termite inspection of the home, or that the buyer actually signs a document waiving the inspection. So most of the time in our market, the seller will go ahead and get a termite inspection prior to listing just to be on the safe side. And that can be anywhere from free to about $100 in most cases. As you can see, there's a whole lot that needs to take place so your home can actually find its new owner. And that typically means quite a few fees other than just our realtors' commissions. That's by no means an exhaustive list, but that's what I find most people tend to miss when they're doing kind of back of the cocktail napkin math on what they could potentially net out of their home sale. I hope all that helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and have an awesome rest of your week, everybody.